Happy Chaos, the third Guilty Gear Strive DLC, releasing on November 30th, which is next week. With Happy Chaos, this gets all the story-related characters out of the way. Jacko, Dick Gold, Lewison, and Happy Chaos. They were all very relevant in the story mode, but now every character that was in story mode and that was relevant is now playable in the game. So the next DLC character is really up in the air of who it could be. Now I know there was a leak that has been right so far that said it was going to be like Elfelt and Jam, but come on. It was obvious that Jacko, Dick Gold, Lewison, and Happy Chaos were going to be playable characters at some point. So now, who do I think could be the next Guilty Gear Strive DLC character? I still am a firm believer that we are going to get a guest character in Guilty Gear Strive at some point. But before I get into my outlandish claims, let's start with something that seems more down to earth and reasonable. Actual original Guilty Gear characters. Now, if we're going by original characters, there's only two in mind that I can really see happening, and that's Baiken and Slayer. One, because Baiken is just one of the original characters who was in Guilty Gear, and she's still somewhat story relevant, so it would make no sense to not put her in. And finally, Slayer. I mean, he's just cool vampire dude, and he's one of the top favorites, and he was my main in X-Hard, so put him in Guilty Gear Strive. Now, there are also other options in my mind. Anyone from X-Hard would make a lot of sense. I think Johnny would make a lot of sense. Venom is the one that I don't see because now he's a bread boy, so we can't put him in. Jam is a high possibility just because she's like a favorite character and a lot of people like her. Maybe Elfet, but that's iffy. Now, there is still one more story mode pick that I think is possible, but if they want to continue the Guilty Gear story, they may want to keep him out. That man, are Asuka. I mean, he's literally been the orchestrator since the Guilty Gear Missing Link. He's the reason almost all of this and everything has happened. And seeing him as a playable character would blow my fucking mind. Now, time to get into the funny picks. Now, as I said earlier, I am a firm believer that this game will get some kind of guest character by any means. I mean, almost every fighting game series has had guest characters in their game at some point in time. Guilty Gear is one of the very few that haven't.
Come on, do math.
Personally, I think any SNK character would make so much sense in Guilty Gear. We already got Baiken as a playable character in Samurai Showdown, so SNK can just give us one of their characters for Guilty Gear Strive. The first most obvious option is Harumaru, as it would make the most sense with Baiken being in Samsho, Harumaru being in Guilty Gear. Also, I would just love to see like the style that Samurai Showdown has of like dropping your weapons and all of that be translated to Guilty Gear. I may think that's a little bit hard, so that's why he's probably the lowest on my thought, but still very likely due to Baiken. Next, just for shits and giggles, let's put Terry Bogard in Guilty Gear. He's in Smash already, he'll be in Guilty Gear. Let's find a way to put Terry Bogard in every fighting game. And lastly, Kyo in Guilty Gear. I think his moveset would, one, be the easiest to translate, and with the new King of Fighters 15 coming out, this would be a great way to market your game to new people. Next, a Blaze Blue character. Come on, Arxis, this would be so fucking easy. You own the rights to both of them. I want to see Edgelord McEdgelord fight other Edgelord McEdgelord. And obviously, we all know I'm talking about Ragna the Bloodhenge. Fuck, I thought naming your character so bad guy was edgy. And I don't think it's that hard to translate a Blaze Blue character into Guilty Gear. I may be very wrong, but still, this seems like the most obvious pick. Now, they could be saving this for a Blaze Blue cross tag with Guilty Gear characters and Persona characters and whatever else, making it one of the biggest fighting game crossovers ever. Dang, I've said that a lot recently. But of course, who I really think it's going to be, Jin Kazuma. Yeah, I think Bandai may throw Arc System Works a bone in allowing them to use a Tekken character. Tekken is one of the most popular fighting games out there, and this would really boost Arc System's sale. I think Jin would probably be the best pick, as you have Kazuya in Smash and Heihachi and Soul Calibur, and you can put Jin in Guilty Gear. His moveset may be a bit tricky to put into Guilty Gear without making him an absolutely broken monstrosity, but I still think it would be cool as fuck to see Jin in Guilty Gear Strive. Now there is a possibility, like I said earlier, that it will be an original Guilty Gear character that's brand new and we've never seen in Guilty Gear, like Asuka. But I think it's low because we just got Happy Chaos, but always a possibility. And as I leave, don't believe leakers, trust your gut, and don't be like Smash fans.
But I don't like... Then why did you ask for